so anchoring, right? So my attempt at putting up that slide is that initial impression, right? You get that
Yeah.
initial impression and you're like, okay. And if you think about it, most people, when they look at returns, they look at year-to-date returns. They look at what did this product do from January 1st to December 31st. And if you get a really good print on December 31st, you're good. If you had great
Yeah.
performance, but are happy, so it's really interesting. And maybe some tips of how to, maybe that's a good way to end it, of tips to work away anchoring
Yeah.
that first impression, positive or negative, and just kind of move on.
Yeah. So someone mentioned rolling time periods. I think that there's a kernel of wisdom that we really want to plant and let flower there. Essentially, the way or a way that you can minimize the kind of impact of an initial impression is to give kind of multiple first impressions, to say like, all of these things are equally true of this thing that I'm showing you. There's a great example, one of the examples of investor humility that has stuck in my mind for years. There was some investor who had like beat the market for, I don't know, 10 straight years or something like this. Someone who's not Warren Buffett, because I mean, that's the whole other level, right? But someone had beat the market consistently for like 10 straight years. And when being interviewed by this, he said, that's only if you look January to December. If you looked like September to August, I would have beaten the market 1 year or maybe 2 in that span. And that to me, I mean, first of all, the display of humility was just like awesome. That kind of like self-awareness and confidence to just be able to say like, yeah, don't overplay this thing that you're clearly teeing up to overplay. That was wonderful to see. But there's a grain of wisdom in there. Like if he said, listen, I've beat the market 10 years in a row if you look January to December, but also like if we did all 12 different permutations of when to start and end the year, what would that distribution look like? How many times did I beat the market in these rolling windows? Like that is actually a much more honest view of how that investor has performed over that time period.